Peace, peace, peace. So tribe, yours truly, Ivory Souls Journey, Tarot. What's going on? So tribe, yours. Hopefully everybody's having a good weekend so far. And I personally want to apologize for last night. It wasn't a emergency. It's just that I had to run to the studio, as well as I had to go, which is not far away, down in Houston, and check on some things for a upcoming event. So it was kind of like I had to kind of bail out of there right away, or bail out of here right away in order to get this here done. So Saturday conversations, I'm just checking in here to see how everybody is doing. So we'll give y'all a couple minutes here. Hey, what's going on, Stacy? We'll give y'all a couple minutes here to see who's all available. Saturday conversations. Hit the like button as you're entering into the live stream. I appreciate that. That would be nice. Just gonna have a couple things I'm gonna kind of talk about, share, right? Everybody okay? Peace and blessings to you. Yoka, what's going on? What's going on? Everybody good? There you go. Hit that like button as you're coming in the live. If I had to sum up where we are energetically right now in terms of state of existence, we are in very, very uncharted waters, whether it's in your personal life, nationally, globally, universally, because we're in this energy of it's just things coming to fruition, things coming to culmination, things are climaxing, folks. And it's like the universe, spirit, God, source, whatever you adhere to, it's almost like with this here Lionsgate portal, it gives you an opportunity to get a glimpse, of course, into the future. But it's also like this energy of the universe allowing you to look back, not go back, but look back at past events that have taken place in your life. What lessons have you learned? Because we're coming full circle, folks. And a lot of people, a lot of us, we got this one last intuitive test. And this intuitive test, some of y'all gonna pass with flying colors because you know that you have cleared all of your past life karmic debt, as well as you've learned your lessons from the past in this lifetime as far as karmic debt. So it's almost like this feeling of you having a clean slate. And this clean slate allows you to manifest, because take it in terms of, we go on a journey, a tarot journey. You start out with the Fool card and you end with the World card. Okay, where the cycle is closed. A cycle starts with that 0, symbolically like the world. So you're going from one extreme to the next. You're going from 0 to 21. Or you going from you're going from present rather to the future. And so many people, for the first time in this human experience, has kind of like, you figured some things out about yourself. When you're revisiting the past, you're only revisiting the lessons that you've learned. So that way you can kind of see where you were in the past, what kind of effect did it have, what type of situationships, relationships, how you dealt with people, how you interacted with people, how you treated people. So it's like the universe is giving you one last glimpse before you kind of like start all back over. You're done with that world. You've made it to that point, and now you're on another journey. So you're going to see a lot of this here wheel of fortune, if you will, energy, and food card energy, death card energy, right? Um, Empress energy, because you're stable and you're in this here creative, energetic atmosphere. You're tuned into frequencies, you're tuned into rhythms, and you can feel it. You know that something is over the horizon that's about to uh, change your life for the better. There is no greater feeling when you go and say you pass the first grade, you pass the second grade, you pass the third grade, all the way up, and then you graduate, if you will, and when you pass the 12th grade. Then you go on to your freshman all the way to your senior years in college. Some of y'all might even extended that and went to grad school and got your master's, and then went another look, then went further and got your PhD, whatever you did. And then once you got that PhD or that master's degree or that bachelor's degree, or even just a high school diploma, you felt good. From a spiritual perspective, from a soul's journey's perspective, a lot of us have come full circle. Since 2008, for some it's been longer. But since 2008, the cycles that you've encountered, cycles, lessons, karmic lessons that you've encountered since 2008 has come full circle. And now you at this point in life to where she says, okay, I graduated. What am I going to do with my life now? I know I felt like that when I left high school and college. It's like, okay, so what am I going to do now? Are you entering into this realm of you? Those of you who calculate and live by time, you in this here realm now of, okay, so what am I going to do with my time now? What am I going to do? You know, I mean, I'm out here. I've done this, I've accomplished this, I've learned lessons here, I learned lessons there. What do I do now? You don't want to be stagnant. Even if you are manifesting, you want to be able to enjoy this phase of manifesting. And I say it because I'm talking to, y'all know I like to call it the 1%ers. You know that your next move is going to be your best move. So you're trying to figure out, okay, you're the fool. You're embarking on a whole new journey. And not only you embarking on a whole new journey, you feel this energy of the magician. What is it that you want to create? What is it that you want to manifest? What is it you want to do with your life now? Now that you've graduated, you've learned your lessons, you got a full, clean slate. You're not in no crazy ass karmic cycles with no relationship. For example, I have no qualms. I have no beef. I'm not vindictive. I don't hate nobody. Ain't nobody. I can't control what somebody else think or feel about me. But as far as me, the core of me, I hold no grudges. There's no regrets. Like, wow, I wished I would have did this different. I wish you got to get over all of that. You got to get beyond all of that before you're able to manifest. Now, we're entering into the last post phase of this energy in the 10th house with Pluto. Now, we know that ruling house now is Saturn. Saturn is here to teach us lessons, right? How to, Saturn is about karma. Saturn is about achievement. Saturn is about authority. This whole planet we call Earth, the ruling energetic planet would be Saturn. Institutions, governments, societies, religion, so on and so. All of this is coming full circle. And just like I've stated once before, a few times before, as I'm speaking from a, how can I say it, an astro tarot standpoint, not a tarot astro, but a astro, spiritual or cosmic, astro tarot standpoint. We're coming full circle. If you start following certain planets transited in your birth chart or your natal chart, or for those of you who are familiar with your Akashic records, you will find out when these portals open and we're in this energy of new moon and Leo. This is some strong ass energy. In your dreams, you might dream about people from the past. You may dream about situations from the past. It's a reminder. That's the portal. That is the portal. And I'm telling you, this is where we are right now. For example, I like to say post, when it comes to major events in this country this year, it's going to be post election. Because the week after the election, again, from an astro tarot standpoint, Pluto moves back into the 11th house, and it's going to be there for 20 years. So prior to you getting to that, prior to us energetically or astrologically being in that energy of Pluto in the 11th house, anything, all the planets that goes and transit through that 11th house after Pluto returns, if you will, into that 11th house of Aquarius. After that energy is there, you got between now and probably November, say around the 10th, the 15th, to kind of like say, okay, let me take one last inventory of myself. Let me kind of look at some things, because now we're entering into, in that 11th house, you're talking 200 and some years ago, the last time that Pluto. So we was in the what? Reconstruction phase as a country post Civil War. Right? So the Civil War, the last time Pluto was in the 10th house, we was in the midst of a civil war. And your current human experience now, take Pluto in the 10th house, post Civil War. And then after that, Pluto, right, in the 11th house. So we're entering into that energy, but we got this one more short window of opportunity. And that window of opportunity between now and the second week in November. So, for example, in your lifetime, in my lifetime, when Pluto was in the 11th house, we were in a financial crisis. I mean, in the 10th house, we were in a financial crisis. All right. So, get this now. August, September, October, November. the next 4 months, folks. When Pluto dips back for that post phase, the cleanup phase, the climax phase, in that 10th house, we could see some major financial crisis. Major financial crisis. We could be looking at, this is because 10th house, governments, institutions, religion, finances, all of this stuff. Follow the transit of Mars for the next 4 months. Follow the transit of Uranus. Follow the transit of, see where it is in your chart or in your natal. Follow the transits of Saturn and Jupiter, right? And these next 4 months, folks. And then now it's going to give you a glimpse. You can see the future. You can start experiencing the future. You can experience the future right now. In your mind. In your mind. In your mind. The magician usually first sees, okay, let's say you're getting ready to go on a trip. He says, okay, I got the tune-up, got my oil change, I got all my tires, they're all good. I got the money for the hotel, I got money for gas, got money for the eat, and so on and so on. We're in that phase now, from a spiritual standpoint. So now in that magician energy, you got everything, y'all. We like to say you got all the tools. So now you're doing this inventory because why? You just started a new cycle. You've already paid your past karmic debt in this lifetime and past life karmic debt. So now you're on a whole new cycle timeline. Some of y'all done jump timelines and don't even know it. So in this here magician energy, you're doing an inventory. So now you in your mind, it's like, I want to do this, I want to do this. But now those things that I want to do, do I have everything that I need? Do your little spiritual checklist. I do it all the time, every day. And check this list. You checking yourself, not somebody else. Check your inventory, your spiritual inventory checklist. Check your North Node checklist, the future. See, are you ready for that? You've already cleared all of your karmic debt. By the time you get to the high priestess energy, if you learn lessons and say, you know what? Things that I rushed into in the past. Things that I did not really follow my gut instinct or my what? Divine intuition. By the time on this new timeline, on this new cycle, this new journey, you're going to be more attentive to how you make decisions, when you make decisions, and for what reasons you're making the decision. You're not just jumping out there no more with that high priestess energy. Now you in this here empress energy. Now you in this creative mode. You already have passed the thought process of the magician, right? You know what you're not going to do. High priestess. You know things that, you know, to whereas if you was used to in the past telling people your business, telling people your plans, telling people your dreams, telling people your ideas, telling people what you're manifesting, you're no longer doing this. Now, the universe has set some of us up for this divine feminine energy. And so now It's like the old saying, everything you touch is about to be manifested and turn to gold, as they say. So you're in this faded energy. You're in this destined energy for major changes. You're in this. So as the wheel turns, for some, that wheel is going to turn. And if you haven't learned your lessons, you're going to repeat. You're going to be back in that south node energy. But as far as that mid-heaven energy, you're ready for the future. Because of why? You've closed out all of these cycles. Past life. Some of us, some people never knew what tarot, astrology, psychic, medium, starseed until this recent transit of Pluto in the 10th house. If you go all the way back to 2008, when Pluto entered that 3rd house, and we was in the midst of this here financial crisis, right? How were you? What lessons can you learn from that, from a financial standpoint? So me now, for example, I'm knowing that we're headed for crisis after crisis after crisis after crisis. So I had to say to myself a few years ago, okay, let me start setting myself up for the restart, the reset that's coming, for the crisis and shit that's coming. And by doing this, I've allowed myself to be able to manifest just like that. You can't be holding no grudges. You can't be talking about what somebody did to you in the past. Guess what? You're going to be right back in that karmic cycle loop, learning lessons all over again. Let that shit by now, listen, by now, by the 2nd week in November, you cannot be dwelling on this shit. I'm telling you. You can't. You can't be grieving. You can't be in this feeling you've been rejected. You can't be checking up on your past exes. You can't be checking up on karmic family members from the past. You can't be wondering what friends who have done this to you. You can't be worried about none of this shit. You can't. Because you're just going to repeat again. So it's like spirit, God, source, whatever you adhere to as a higher power. It's going to be like, oh, so you still thinking about this? How you going to manifest if you thinking about that shit? So the universe says, okay, then, I tell you what, I got a lesson for you. Pass this final exam. Pass this last lesson. Then I'll graduate you. So if you're still wondering what somebody's doing, who they with, and all of this here, why my mama do this to me, why my dad do this to me, why is this, why is this, why is this, why is this? One thing I, despise is stalkers. I despise triggered energy because I know that there's that healing. You still got some shit you need to work on with yourself. It ain't got shit to do with nobody else. So I say I despise, trollers. People come into the live, and they just got, as a teacher, if my teacher is up, if your teacher, and I'm not your teacher, I'm just here kind of like as a messenger. But if you had a teacher and the teacher's in front of the class, and every time the teacher says something, you got something to say right behind the teacher. The teacher says something, you got something to say right behind the teacher. The teacher says something, you got something. So the teacher gonna be like, damn, you want to come up here and teach this motherfucking class? So triggering energy can come in all forms. If I'm so quick to respond to everything that is being said to me, no, that's not high priestess energy. So when you starting off this new cycle, this new timeline, it's almost like this energy of this time, I'm going to listen, observe, read, analyze before I act upon. Now you can merge into that divine feminine principle. We have elements. We have elements, right? And the element of earth, that's kind of like Earth is more masculine compared to, say, Venus. And when Earth is ruled by Saturn, it's almost like that masculine energy. It's a lot of ego there. It's a lot of devil energy. Not meaning devil meaning evil, but devil meaning anything could be an addiction. Hell, I can use my vapor too much. I can be addicted to vapor. I can be addicted to food. I can be addicted to this. I can be addicted to this. What have you? And I'm the type of person now that you got to be able to balance. When should I be in this here masculine energy? When should I be? Because some of us are embodying both divine masculine and divine feminine energy. In other words, in this masculine energy, this divine masculine energy, I'm not going to let people just push over me. I'm not going to let people disrespect me. I'm not going to let people just, let's say like I'm live right now and y'all know me. I'll call a motherfucker out. That's masculine energy. Now, somebody may not like it, but then if you are done with the past, you don't give a shit about how a person feels. In your world and what you're creating for yourself now and in the future, you don't give a damn. And when you don't give a damn, that's a powerful ass place. That's a powerful ass position to be in. Because people now, when they approach you, they proceed with caution. Because your aura, your energy, the frequency in which you're tuned into now, they on a whole nother radio dial. They on a whole nother frequency. They on a whole nother bandwidth. They might be 91.1, right? 91.1. You way up here on 107.1. You're on a totally different frequency, totally different bandwidth. So if I'm driving and I got my radio on and I'm listening to this station, 92.7, as I'm driving, eventually, the further I go away from that frequency, that bandwidth, you're going to start hearing static. And then eventually you'll go silent for a minute. You'll lose that channel, that frequency of 92.7. And then you might enter into what? 92.9, 92.8. Then what happens? Another radio station comes into play. The same with your life. As you're going forward, all this here frequency of 92.7 from the past, eventually it gets static. And once it gets staticky, if you will, you no longer, you know that, okay, damn, so I must be getting out of that frequency. I must be getting out of that area. From a personal standpoint, you're not tuned into that. You're not on that same bandwidth. You're not even entertaining it. You're not even talking about what people do, what people did. You're so focused in this here magician, this high priestess, this fool energy, this empress energy, this hierophant energy. Now opportunities come. And if it's a desired partner that you're manifesting, It's all based on that judgment before the world card, who a wake-up call, or who you want to connect with, because you're on a totally different life purpose now. So now the universe says, okay, you've already went past this, you went past this. So now I'm going to throw you an opportunity, a choice in this 3D to say, who do I want to partner up with? And a partner don't always have to be a lover. That lover energy, it doesn't always just give me just a lover, choosing one person or another. It can be a partner. I know people that are business partners that they've never ever dated, but they are very successful as business partners. And they share a similar, not the same, but a similar life purpose. It could be a business opportunity. It could be launching a new product, a new service, or what have you. And you share this same frequency, bandwidth, in tune. So the universe says, okay, you already learned all your lessons. You got that free will card. You do with what you want to do with it. And the universe trusts you because why? You didn't close out all these cycles. By the time election, after the election, up until now, from now up until the election, anything is possible. This week, more breaking news. Like I was telling y'all, last week I said breaking news. What ended up happening? Okay, they killed the president, they assassinate. So I saw 3 world leaders being assassinated this year. I saw, whether it's an attempt or an actual assassination, I saw 3 world leaders leaving this planet tragically. I saw 3 world leaders being removed from office or forced to resign. This is going to bring more crisis. I saw bombs dropping on this soil in the future. And because of this, I have to think, prep. I have to be spiritually proactive. I have to have myself in a mindset that, okay, if I'm one of those ones, see that death card, a lot of people, endings and beginnings, death and rebirth, transformation, transition. Some of us physically are going to transition, meaning to the afterlife, what you call die. And some of us are going to be transformed, spiritual awakening. And that spiritual awakening can feel like the dark night of the soul. It feel like, God damn. And by the time you get out of that dark night of the soul and you've gone in the hermit mode and you've isolated yourself for a higher purpose, for a higher calling, when you come out of that energy, you badass. You are badass. Because anything you desire in this physical reality, you can manifest it. When I think about Martin Luther King, the last 3 years of his life, it was a culmination of a life review. And he eventually got back around to what? Saying, you know what? I think I'd have led my person down the road the wrong way. I've led them into a burning inferno or whatever he was quoting. When you think about the last 3 years, if you will, okay, of quote unquote one we call Jesus life, he knew he was going to be gone. When you think about Malcolm, you think about all these people. Some of us, you're in the last phase before you're transitioning. So it's like things that you wanted to do years ago, you're going to find yourself doing those things. Things you wanted to say, things you wanted to approach, people you wanted to deal with, ideas that you had put on the back shelf because in your karmic cycle with another family, friend, or ex, it was more of a hindrance because the universe says, Ivory, this is what I want you to do before you transition. This is what you signed up for, Ivory, in this lifetime, as far as your soul's journeys and your life purpose. And it can take up to 7 human experiences to complete one life purpose or soul's journey's purpose. 7 human experience. That's why some people come back and they repeat the same damn thing that they did in the past life. Soul is source. There's no origin for source. Okay, so what's the beginning of the universe? When did the universe start? You don't know. And the soul is an attachment to this ether, to this cosmic realm. So you can't, that's why in religion, they're not going to tell you your soul is going to die. They just say you going to die and your soul will either go to some made up place that religion has taught you. That's going to be paved with streets of gold and paradise, and you'll have access to 1,000 versions and all this here kind of mumbo jumbo shit. Or they'll tell you your soul going to go down in the ground somewhere, Hades or hell, and you're going to have to deal with this dude called the devil, and he got this pitchfork and this long-ass tail, and you got this lake of fire, and you got to be tossed into it. That's all buckery. Fear-mongering. Now, if you still in that energy, then okay, you're gonna repeat, because when that soul journeys back, transitions back to its place where it existed before entering or exiting the womb, which is a portal, you signed a contract. You agreed to something. You agreed to something before you come here. Before you journey here, you agreed to something. And whatever it was you agreed to, if you never ever complete that life's purpose, you're going to keep coming back. Some people come back to this lifetime and they're very, very successful. Is because in a previous life, they know where they messed up at. They know what they signed up for. Some of us know that we have this here. We have 2 families. You have your family, which is your earthly family, and then you have a cosmic family. Most of us put emphasis and focus on our earthly family, which can be sometimes karmic lessons with individuals. And they don't last forever. Are you with the first person that you call your first love? Are you with your puppy love? Are you with the first person in this lifetime that you said, both of y'all said, wow, fairy tale? 99.9% of the people on this planet is not with the very first person you thought was going to be your end all be all, your first love, if you will. How I know that? That's why so many baby dads and baby mamas. That's why so many divorces. You're not with. So when you transition, now that you're on this new timeline, when you transition, we're in transformative, we're in transitional energy now. So as you either transition into your afterlife experience, you need to be taking inventory, spiritual inventory. What did I agree to? What's my purpose? Why am I here? What was I supposed to do this time around? Because if you don't, you're going to come back and repeat the same thing. You are going to encounter the same energies, same people in your next lifetime. If you don't learn that, you're going to encounter the same energies, same people, same energies in a different body. So when you cross paths with somebody in this lifetime or your next lifetime, you'll be like, damn, It just seemed like I've been knowing you all my damn life. Why? There's a past life energetically connection. Familiar souls, familiar spirits. That's why it be so intense. Because you realize, damn, it was something about this person that I just feel like we were supposed to do something together. One of y'all might know, and the other one don't. So the one that knows there's something tries to convince the other, but the other one hasn't learned a lesson. Because they still on what? Repeating karmic cycles. You've closed out yours. So that was the test. A catalyst twin, if you will. Somebody that the universe says, okay, Ivory, I'm going to let you cross paths with someone from a past life, and it's going to be your final test. You'll know who it is. If you don't know who it is, you're bound to repeat, folks. If you don't know what that person, that purpose and that assignment was, you're bound to repeat. Hold on. Give me 1 second here. Give me 1 second. I'm not going to answer. One second. One second here, folks. So now you have this opportunity to really, really look at your life now, because we're all in this final phase, because the universe is now saying, okay, daughter Earth, it's time for me to redeem you. Because of all of this masculine energy, daughter Earth. I say Mama Universe. I say daughter Earth. Y'all say Mother Earth. I don't say Mother Earth. I don't care what nobody say, but that's just my perspective, right? The universe gives birth to planets. The planets don't give birth to the universe, right? The crisis. A lot of y'all in this 11th house energy with Pluto going forward for the next 20 years. A lot of y'all going to become, I've said it before, humanitarians. You're going to be that one that have gone through this here spiritual awakening, this transformation, not transitioning. Transitioning means you out of here. Transformation, you still here. And your next move need to be your best move, because it could be your final move. And shit's going to hit the ceiling for Earth. The intensity, the crisis, the uprisings, the revolutions, the civil unrest, the civil war, the fall of empires, the fall of governments, the fall of institutions, the exposures of governments, the exposure of religions, the exposure of institutions, the covens, the secret groups, the dark groups, all this shit is coming to conclusions. You're going to find out things about your family that you never knew. You're going to find out things about world leaders, including in this country, presidents and so on and so, that you never, it's going to shock the shit out of you. Because why? In that 11th house with Pluto, that's why I say follow your Uranus transit and follow your midheaven or your north node. Follow your Pluto transit, right? When I pulled up the chart, started looking at the chart just for America, I'm already knowing, oh shit, we could be headed towards civil unrest. total reconstruction like we had experienced after the Civil War, as well as crises. Shit's coming to an end, folks. Some people call it the last days, the end of the world. I don't believe it. None of that shit no more. This world is not, this planet is not. World is a system. The planet is a place. World is not a place. It's a system. So these systems are coming to conclusions, endings. That's what the death card is. That's what Pluto energy is. Endings. Death, ending. Transformation and rebirth. Starting all over again. By the time we get to 2043, 2044, as Pluto exits out of the 11th house into the 12th house, by the time we get there, we may not even be what we call America. There might be, states might be independent from this here, the union as they call it, the government. And so you're going to have to physically state your claim on how you want to emerge after this restart, this reset, this reconstruction, if you still here physically. So we're headed for a long, dark road globally, not just in America, globally. And when you hear people talk about depopulation, it's not so much your government is going to be killing you, but because of all of these wars that's getting ready to. We're already in the midst of a lot of bullshit, but it's going to get worse. And for those of us who think that America is exempt from a bomb falling on its soil, you need to wake up. We're not the only ones with bombs, but we got, quote unquote, as a nation, we have so many enemies that got bombs like us now, that has technology like us. And we hate them as a nation, and they hate us. You have War of the Worlds from a cosmic standpoint. Deities, as above, so below. Now you're getting ready to have War of the Nations. Everything. You're going to see things in the sky that's going to shock the shit out of you. No, I'm not talking about somebody coming back, take you to no heaven. You're going to see deities. You're going to see beings. You're going to see what you call aliens, or you're going to see things. You're going to see objects. You're just going to see shit that the natural eye has never experienced or seen before. So you're going to try to analyze something for the first time that you have no idea what you're looking at. But for those of us who have an idea, you're not operating in the realm of fear. You're more like, come on, let's restart this thing. Okay, if I transition, if I die, you never die. But if I transition, if I die, I'm prepared for it. I'm prepared for it. And because you're prepared for it, nothing is going to shock you, Uranus. Nothing. People can be dying all around you in the future. You're going to be so focused that you already know what's going on. And you're just going to be so focused. Forward movement. And who you have, now that you're on this new timeline, who you have connected yourself with, partner up with, to come to, that's why that Lovers comes right after that Hierophant. When you think about the Hierophant and you think about the High Priest, they really counterparts. right? The Hierophant is the emperor. As long as you're on the Western civilization, you're going to say emperor. But the Hierophant is really the high priest. That is the counterpart of the high priestess. Right? Right after that Hierophant energy, if you're going in terms of the flow of tarot, you have that six, that card number 6, which is what? The Lovers. We're talking majors. We're talking majors. So when you look at that 6, that transitioning, that forward movement, whether it's 6 of Swords, 6 of Wands, 6 of Cups, that doesn't mean you're going back to the past. It could be some things from the past nostalgically to resurface in your subconscious or in your conscious, in your mental. And that 6 of Pentacles, whether or not you're not going to take bullshit, or some like to say equal give and take. So you're not going to be taking. So we're in that energy of that 6 too. But some are in that energy of that 5. Still going through changes, still learning spiritual lessons, still learning how, still finding out that there is a purpose, a spiritual purpose, and there's authority. Where are you getting your spiritual advice? All of these things come into play. If I'm going and looking for book characters, if that's where you getting your advice, that's on you. But you can't prove that these book characters existed other than you read about them. People talk about them. Your parents told you about them. But that wasn't your choice. You were quote unquote birthed into that belief system. So now that you're able to reevaluate spiritually and make your own choices and decisions, that's why so many people that will say once going to church or once was a Christian, a Muslim, or a Hebrew, or a Catholic, or what have you, they're no longer now. They were born into that in the physical. They weren't taught that because that's the parent that they shared a life with growing up as a child. If your mama went to church, you went. But prior to when Pluto, prior to the Civil War, listen to me, prior to the Civil War, say prior to the 1600s, on this land, we weren't thinking about no religion. Our parents on this land that existed, history all the way dating back to 30,000, 36,000 years ago, that's older than all the religions. So how can I just say some God somewhere, based on this book, based on what I was told, how can I say some God somewhere said, hey, Ivory, your native parents on the land you living on now, they had some evil ass gods. You don't need to be worshiping them gods no more. Your parents, your native parents, your ancestors on this land, they were evil. And some of us went along with that shit with no proof. How did I become a Christian? How did I become a Muslim? How did I become a Catholic? How did I become a Hebrew? Because before this, on this land, there was not so. So this rebirth, this spiritual awakening, and these portals coming together takes you back. And you see your soul purpose. It had nothing to do with religion. And this is what I call the Great Awakening. For some, it's going to be a forced awakening. And it's not that you leaving the church, you're evolving to a high state of consciousness. It's not that you mad and all, no, you just evolve. Some will this lifetime, some will the next lifetime. A lot of your parents, grandparents, great-grandparents, your greats, some of them have already returned. They're just not part of your life now because why? They're not religious. They've had the chance to experience religion on earth and then a spiritual afterlife that's like, wow, I'm not in heaven. Wow, I'm not in hell. Wow, I ain't got no mansion. Wow, I don't see no fire. Wow, I don't see no devil. Wow, I don't even see Moses. Wow, I don't see Muhammad. I don't see nobody that I was told that's gonna be waiting on me. And you don't hear from them. They don't even come back. Some will communicate with us, right? If we are open to. But religion teaches a lot of people, don't talk about the dead. Don't talk to the dead. They're not dead. Because why? They teach you that the soul don't die. So if the essence, the source of us, don't die, you can communicate. I communicate with my dad, my mom's, aunts, and so on. Those that are of the light, those that haven't learned a lesson, they transition into the afterlife. They got this dark karmic still energy about them. They're fighting against me. People you call your family. We all don't have the same ancestors. I don't call on I don't communicate with all of my quote unquote physical ancestors. I'm more in tune to communicate with my spiritual, my cosmic ancestors. That takes me back several lifetimes. And as I continue to do this, then my spiritual development, my spiritual growth, my spiritual evolution will always be present and in tune. When you got ancestors, spirit guides, deities, what have, when you got these energies telling you, showing you things, I see things of the future, not because I'm this great ass. No, it's either by way of a spiritual gift or you're able to communicate in a different frequency, different dimensional, different bandwidth. And you can see shit. And then now with this 3D, some of us, we just call it out. We just tell what we see. I read energy in terms of that form of divination and not just cards. The cards is a form of divination. Now, am I going to do it based on the Western civilization of tarot? No. I would rather you can use, from a tarot perspective, a reader can use one deck and don't have to use no more. Because, right, really, if you read energy, you don't need the cards. So if you're going to use the card, I'd rather use cards that are attached to my energy, right? And because some of these decks, they ain't all that on the up and up from an energetic standpoint. I don't know nothing about that person that put that deck out there and what rituals or whatever they did to come up, what state of mind, I don't know. But I know my decks or standard decks that I don't even have to just look at it as based on it means this, because some people, they look at a card, they can't read nothing but the tarot. What's the meaning of that card? I want to know what's the purpose of the energy. What is the energy spewing out? Not what that picture means. That picture is surface level. All right, I'm gonna get out of here. I'll be back at 7:30 to get back on these here August 2024 readings, starting back with Cancer. But I wanted to stop in because we got some very, 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 we got some dark days ahead of us. And if you don't know where you stand, quote unquote, spiritually, if you don't know your position on which direction you can go in terms of, say, the death card, whether it's transformation or transition, if you don't know where you stand, that's where you need to be trying to find out now. You don't need to be trying to find out what a motherfucker's doing. Or somebody did this to me. Somebody did this. If you still there, you just gonna repeat. That death card gonna be in reverse energy. A bomb fall right now. An enemy sent a bomb, drop a bomb right now. And it affects where I'm sitting at right now. I ain't worried about shit. If I live, I know exactly what I need to do. Why? I need to be in that humanitarian mode. I need to be in that survival mode. I don't need to be in that Uranus mode to where it's a shock and awe. It's a sudden shock. It's like, I'm not prepared. Oh, I ain't know they was going to drop. No. I know the damn bombs are going to drop. I know the economy is going to crash. I know the stock market going to crash. I know that there's going to be great housing. I know that there's going to be a lot of people homeless. I know that I'm prepared that if there is an EMP, right, and we don't have no power, I know what I need to do to survive. And if it's time for me to transition, quote unquote, into my afterlife experience, then have I completed this soul's purpose, this life purpose? So that's what I'm more in tune with now. Why am I here? What did I sign up for in my previous lifetime? What lessons did I not learn? I learned all of them from the past life. All the way back 6 lifetimes. That's why I kept repeating, so I'm not in that energy. What's up, Grace? Lynette Williams. How do I learn about my chart? Go to anybirthchart.com, type in your birthday, your information. If you know the time you was born or what have you, type it in and there's going to be a chart. I tell people always, know where the planets were when you was born. Start there. Then now go and do your little research on what those planets, the energies that are spewing off of these planets, know what they mean. Then that way, as you follow these planets, if you got planets here and here and here and here and here throughout your chart, now you just gonna follow it. So once you get to certain points in your chart and you see repeats, or you see you should be doing this, or whether you do it, you should be doing it or not, you see what the energy is, and then you react to the energy. But if you know your chart, and you see, and you know what these planets mean, and you know what these different quote unquote constellational bodies we call houses mean, then you know how to kind of move and navigate and adjust, because you're not bigger than the planets. You're not bigger than Earth. You're not bigger than Saturn. You are affected by these energies. All of us. Every last one of us. Yeah. What it do? Real Dragon, what's up? What's up? Everybody good? Everybody good? Everybody good? What up? Michelle, you good? Everybody good? Whoa. Everybody good? I am the lighthouse. What's up? Mimi, what's up? Y'all good? Guided by spirituality. Peace King, you get that package? I know you probably did. Sweet Pea, what's up? What's up? What's up? Everybody good? Dustin, you good? We'll see y'all back here at 7:30 my time. Miss Lovable, you good? How y'all doing? Stacy, everybody good? You know, telling you folks again this week. Now, I told y'all last week it's gonna be again every damn week. Breaking news. And it's just gonna get worse. It has to. It's gonna get worse. It's like a woman start having those contractions, and then those contractions start getting more and more intense, and they start happening more frequent. That's how the planet is right now. More and more frequent contractions, and the contractions are getting closer and closer and stronger because why? She's about to give birth. The same way the planet is going through a rebirth, a cleanse. And at some point in time, it's going to be like not an explosion in terms of the planet, but it has to get worse. Yeah, but okay then, but it's there. You should have gotten it Friday, so it's there. So we'll see y'all here back here in a few minutes, in a couple of hours here, and we'll get back started. I'll see y'all tomorrow also on my other channel. Peace and blessings.